just have Emily take off the logo. And then
I've learned to
right
master
into
like
it.
living with a cold. Like you know how it's inconvenient when you live with a cold. I
guess
that's just
so.
what I do all the time.
That's true. It becomes your reality after a while.
I'd love to feel healthy. It'd be fantastic.
You were just saying that we're on also now, by the way, Jay.
Sweet.
You were just saying that you never like get sick really. Do you ever start to feel sick when you get tired though? Do you have that?
No, all the time.
Yeah, dude, that's the same with me. Like
it's
I don't.
funny because he was just saying that like it would be nice to feel healthy. Like I don't feel healthy, but I just don't get sick. You know? So,
oh yeah, don't get it wrong. I'm not well.
Yeah,
I'm just not blowing my nose
I'm
constantly.
terrible. It's bad,
dude.
There's a reason why the hood's up, man. I decided to hide the hair today. It's just like
I don't know if I've ever felt something so much. Oh yeah, I've been worried about my hair all day because I had a feeling I wasn't gonna wear the Bart Simpson.
Why
hat
didn't you
on
just put
one.
it on?
I don't know, because I forgot to, and like I don't know. It's either I feel like the collar.
You do have
shirt,
quite
like,
the
goes
outfit
either
going
way.
on today.
I think it looks pretty not bad.
I dig it, man.
I think the secret to fashion is layers.
I dig it. That's like more what I would go with on the day to day.
That's usually what
I dig it.
wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hoodie, baseball jersey. That's
Hat.
the look.
It's so funny. I talk about it all the time because like I really don't be dressing nice like very often at all. I remember in my first music video, I showed up for the video, and the videographer looked at me and he's like, "That's what you went with." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I got." Man. I'm not gonna put on anything for anybody, you know.
And I agree. Like Andrew is not a sweatpants wearer. The only time I see you wear sweatpants is when you fly on airplanes,
Which I stopped doing actually.
which
I don't
is
do
crazy
that anymore.
But to me, sweatpants have come full circle because now you have like fashionable sweatpants.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason that I shouldn't be able to wear sweatpants on a day-to-day. Like to everything that I do.
It's just being comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I have comfortable pants, but they're still not as comfortable as sweatpants. Anybody that's like has a pair of jeans on, they're like, "Oh no, these jeans are so comfortable, man. Like I swear they're like wearing sweatpants." No, they're not. The most comfortable pair of jeans will never equate to a pair of sweatpants.
You just gotta break them in, man. You
No.
gotta go.
No.
You gotta go do a day rustling the cows.
I hate
what am
when
I
people
trying
say
to
that
say?
shit. That's like a pet peeve of
I like
mine.
being in outfits where you could sleep spontaneously.
Yes,
You know?
I agree.
You
Like
know what
I
I mean?
could lay down. If you laid down right now, you're instantly comfortable.
Right.
All you would have to do is like take off your socks and throw a blanket on.
Okay, I feel that. See that I'm a very much like segmented worlds type of guy. So that sounds like an absolute nightmare.
But I
to
feel
me.
like I do my best work when I'm like completely comfortable. Like I'm not like
Yeah, I hear
fidgeting
that.
around. Like I'm just sitting there focused on what I'm doing.
that's 100% true. But I think it's more important to be comfortable in your own skin. I think
That
that's
is a
the
good
most comfortable you can be, actually, Matthew.
It's funny because my
think-
next point to that
I
was
think
gonna be,
actually
like, also
that's the most comfortable
they sell
you can
like
be.
comfortable like
That was good, man. That was wholesome.
Thanks, dude.
the comfortable like look is a style in itself
Yeah.
that looks good. So now you can double down and be comfortable and also look in your mind good.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely.
Then you're double comfort.
Yeah, there's a lot less of a social, fashion is a social construct, man. But there is a lot less of a like social pressure to dress conventionally nice, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's a super nice hoodie. You guys both have like very nice hoodies on right now. Like,
Thank you, man.
and that's
like that
that's
hoodie.
always been kind of a thing, though. I think. I wonder when that really started. Because you know how like sometimes like super wealthy people will dress kind of like shitty.
Yeah.
But then there's also that
Adam
thing of where
Sandler.
sometimes Sandler, I guess so. Yeah, that's true.
It's a bad
That's a
example.
guy who does dress very comfortable though. But like on the other side of that, there's also hoodies that are like $1,000 or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean?
Like
So
I really like all the essential stuff. I really wanted to get those, but they're like super like they're super basic. You know what I mean? Like they're just like basic colors and like
Yeah.
really bland, but they're like
Neutrals.
expensive and they're
Yeah.
like really nice and they're
That's
made out of
so
nice.
weird.
But like I want them, but like I don't want to spend the money for them. So it's
Yeah.
like
Well,
I'm balling on a budget. You know what I mean? So
that's a problem with the sweatshirt. I have a whole theory, like an opinion about this, because the sweatshirt has become the most expensive article of clothing that you can buy.
that's true.
Like, nothing is more, nothing as a innerwear, like not a jacket, is more expensive than sweatshirts at this point in time.
Do you think it's because of the hood? Because of the extra fabric for the hood?
Well, I think that
I think it's because it's most desired.
I think at first people were like, well, they are pretty heavy. We could
At least for
probably
me.
bump them up a little bit. But then it was like, yeah, like people, want sweatshirts.
People want sweatshirts.
Right.
That's true.
Like I would prefer to wear a sweatshirt every single day.
Well, we also
Yeah.
live in Buffalo too, so it's
Yeah.
like
that is a
really
good call.
cold all the time. So,
But, like,
sweatshirts
I
are usually
have-
a go-to.
I have a basket, not like a crappy looking basket, but like a bin basket style thing in my bedroom that I put exclusively sweatshirts in because I don't have room
Same.
to store all my sweatshirts anywhere else because I like to keep like at least 10 sweatshirts in rotation at all time
Mhm.
because
This came out the middle of the bin tonight.
Yeah.
Literally.
because I'm like a 2 sweatshirts a day kind of guy. I'm like, wear this to work. We'll finish up here. I'll go home, work out, throw on a clean sweatshirt. After I shower, like cook dinner, eat dinner, sit there, watch some TV in said sweatshirt, take it off, go to sleep.
I also have animals too. Like I couldn't do that outfit because I'd walk in here like
Just covered
I'm
in
an,
hair.
Chewbacca.
I'm an exact. I have to be in the top 1% of lint roll buyers. Like I go through lint rolls like it's crazy.
I just stock up on those.
Yeah, because I have to. I'm a fan of wearing black clothing.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's the first thing that gets covered.
but like this material isn't bad. You can shed. I got some hair on there, but you can shed hair pretty quick off of this material. This is great podcasting. But if you're wearing like a cotton material, no, you're dead. You're toast. There's no chance.
Like you threw this is great podcasting. In
Well,
there.
because
That's
as
great.
I'm saying it, I'm like, damn, I couldn't imagine
Lint
this
roller
is-
talk.
Yeah, this is exactly what the people tuned in.
We'll
to
do
hear.
we'll do like a special little like is my mic doing that thing, Emily, or is it just weird? Okay.
Yeah, you
All
just
right.
go silent the rest of the show.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah.
How do I sound, Emily? Do I need to speak up?
No, you sound great,
Alright.
dude. There's a
Sweet.
lot of people come in and they're all like all over the place.
I'm
or
naturally a
whatever.
very quiet talker.
It sounds good on mic though, man. That
Sweet.
sounds very good on mic.
Good. That's what I like to
Um,
hear.
Obviously, I wanted to talk to you about the album, man, because I obviously, we really appreciate you coming in here.
Thank you. I appreciate
um,
you guys having me.
Yeah, there's a lot that I want to compliment you on, so I don't really know where to start. But I do want to make sure that I say the album, it's so well produced.
Thank you.
It is like really, really good.
Thank you.
And you work with a fella. I keep wanting to say the name is Budapest, but I know that it's Bulgaria.
Bulgaria.
Yeah.
So he was the beat maker, executive producer for the album. It was actually he mixed the whole thing, and then it was mastered by my buddy Andy, who we're all in the studio together. So Andy's across the hall. Bulgaria's with me in the main studio room, and we just work all the time. And then that was just like one of those things where like I have probably like 70 songs that are laying around right now. That was 8 of them. So it was like I just needed to get something out. It's been a year and a half since my first album, so I was kind of scrambling a little bit. The idea just came up for the Lil Homie. We'll get into that, like where the idea came from, but it's a long story. But they were just like it was just like one of those spontaneous things where it's like something needs to come out. I need some content out right now. And then those collection of songs came together, and really the Lil Homie one, the first song, is very recent. The rest of those songs are like pretty old. Like there's stuff that I worked on months back. So like I'm planning on dropping a lot this year. I got a lot of like content that just hasn't been out, that hasn't touched the surface yet. Songs that I still have that are really old. So Lil Homie's really just the beginning of like a bunch of stuff for me. So I'm excited. Thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, of course, man. So what do you do with these old songs? Like, what are they sitting around for? Will you go back and like change things about them, or will you just now's the right time? Okay.
Definitely. So they're definitely all drafts for me. Like every single time I show somebody one of my unreleased songs, like it comes with like a whole like spiel beforehand about how it's not done yet. I still got to do this. I got to do that. This needs to be changed. So, I'm always like trying to enhance everything that I have, and update it a little bit. Like sometimes I have old songs that I really like the concept of it, but I recorded it at a time and I just didn't like the way my voice sounded, or maybe I was sick or something, and I just so it was like I try to re-record, like update a lot of things, and just I keep making stuff. That's the problem. I have a lot of stuff that isn't finished yet because I just keep working on something else. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm just very eager. And I'm also Italian, so I talk with my hands, which is why that happened. But
Oh yeah, no worries. So, are you one of the? I mean, so many people do this thing where they put off releasing songs because they never feel like they're ready. Do you have that feeling ever? Do you struggle with that same thing?
Admittedly, what's going on right now is that I just don't have the money to put these out because
okay.
I feel like because I could have released anything for free at any point, you know what I mean? But to like really feel good about like an album for me right now, like I just don't want to put things out that disappear into the internet and disappear into the metaverse. I just want like to like drop things that are like campaigned properly. They all have music videos. I have like a lot of content behind it. Like I want to be prepared before I go into it rather than like scramble afterwards. You know what I mean? Like and I just feel like right now, like that takes a lot of money. Like you got to have the money to advertise. You got to be able to get the videographers. You got to be able to like even playlisting, like getting your songs onto playlists in different areas to try to, you know, develop a fan base. So all of that stuff really takes time and it takes effort and it takes money. And, you know, I'm trying to work on getting more of all of that stuff so I could put more out. But, Lil Homie was just like, I need some out right now. I need some for my fans to listen to, people that support me to listen to, because they've been listening to the same stuff for forever now, and I hoard all of my music, so definitely got to get something out.
Folks, one of the worst feelings in the world is getting home from the grocery store, you pull into the driveway, and you realize, God damn it, I forgot to get that one specific item that I really needed. I can't believe I forgot it. And then what do you got to do? You're going to put the car in reverse, go back to the grocery store? No, forget all that. Why are you even going to the grocery store in the first place? It's an absolute mess. People bumping their carts into each other. You can never tell where anything is. There's no one around. You can ask, oh, hey, where's the jelly? Oh, it's on the other end of the store from the peanut butter. Nothing makes sense in these places, and the good news is you don't have to deal with it any longer when you use Instacart, because with Instacart, you get not just groceries, but some of your favorite products from some of your favorite local stores delivered right to your front door in as little as 1 hour. And the best part is right now, 2 in the Cooler listeners get free delivery on their first order of $10 or more. All you have to do is spend $10 and Instacart will deliver whatever it is you're looking for right to your front door in as little as 1 hour. No delivery fee. So start making things a little easier on yourself and start using Instacart today by hitting the link in the show description to get yourself that deal. As always, everybody, we appreciate you listening, checking out the show. If you want to support the show even further, a great way to do that is to do something nice for yourself and check out all the sick merch we've got over at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. Hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeves, all kinds of cool accessories, bucket hats, fanny packs. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's something else new. Oh, baseball hats. We got baseball hats on now. I think those are maybe going to look good. I have not seen them in person, but I think they're probably pretty cool. So go check those out. The slides as well, which I have seen, and those are actually fucking awesome. All kinds of great stuff, not just for this show, but also for Schemin' and Dreamin' and Quested, the other 2 podcasts that we produce right here. Quested just put up some new merch that is so fucking sick. You have to go check that out. Again, at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com, or just hit the link in this episode description or the one in our Instagram bio. And if you're interested in advertising on this show or our twin show, Schemin' and Dreamin' or Quested, the Dungeons & Dragons podcast that we produce right here, you can email us at snackspotsports@gmail.com for details on how you can start reaching thousands of listeners in the Buffalo area and beyond. Because podcasting, the effectiveness of podcast advertising is overwhelming, and you can see that because of these big companies like McDonald's and freaking NASCAR. I heard a NASCAR advertisement on a podcast, and I honestly can't get over it. But them, State Farm, like companies that are advertising on the Super Bowl, like these massive companies are moving away from like traditional media, like TV and stuff, into the podcast space, and that's cool to see. But it doesn't leave any room for smaller local businesses to get in on the action and see how effective podcast advertising can really be. There hasn't really been anything to do that yet, but that's why we are here. So if you're interested in learning more about all the benefits to podcast advertising, again, you can reach out to us at snackspotsports@gmail.com. And the thing that struck me most about this album, man, is we've talked to like a lot of musicians and stuff, and one of the things that seems to be super popular right now is people will have an album, and on that album, every track will be kind of like a different genre doing their stuff. And what I see some people do in that aspect is let me say it like this. What I love about you And what I have to imagine, when I listen to your songs, I'm like, this guy sounds to me like a producer's dream, because every type of beat there is, you fit it like a glove.
Thank you.
And the problem that happens with other folks is it seems kind of like they are trying to force their style onto a particular genre, and sometimes it doesn't always mesh. Sometimes it sounds like kind of clunky. But you, man, it sounds like, the sense that I get is people could start playing anything and you would start going on it, and you enhance it in this way. Is that something that you find yourself just naturally happening, or are you super cognizant of music in general and what's going on?
Well, to be completely honest, if I had like my just choice of beats at any moment, I would most likely be on like boom bap, very repetitive, just like, that's just kind of more my style. Like I grew up listening to old school hip hop. That's why I like grew up like loving J. Cole and like Kendrick, like the people that have like more lyrical elements, like more poetic tendencies in their writing and stuff like that, like which I really grew to. Like I tried writing books when I was a kid. I don't know why I really liked writing. I always like putting words together and like just making it sound good. Like I would even write lyrics for like not rap songs, but like, you know, I try playing guitar. I do play guitar. I know how to play a little bit, but like I'm not efficient at it, but I'm good at it. I used to play out at like Coldplay covers at like coffee shops when I was younger and stuff like that. Wow. So it's like I've developed like over multiple genres. When I was younger, my grandfather played the accordion, so I grew up listening to a lot of you know, like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis, like even like Engelbert Humperdinck. I know you guys don't know who that is because
come on.
Really?
No, I got
Matthew doesn't, but yeah.
They're like old, like really old. So like my like passion for music has been since I was like a child, you know, so like it's grown into so many different things, and I feel like that's part of the reason why like I'm able to hear a beat and like know what needs to be done on it. But if I had my choice, it's more for my hip hop, it's more like boom bap, you know, stuff like that. And that's where Bulgaria came in and really kind of developed everything, because he makes beats that are just like absolutely crazy, and he'll send them to me and they're so good that it's like, how do I tell him that this is not my style of beat, you know what I mean? So rather than deny it, I try to adapt to it, and I try to write to it. I try to make something dope out of it, even if it's not something that I'm looking for in that moment. And I feel like that really developed me as an artist, because now like I feel like I could write on anything. I feel like you give me any type of beat as long as it's not completely whack, and I'll be able to make something out of it and make a song out of it that I like, you know what I mean? And usually what I like, a lot of other people like. So, you know, I feel like I'm just like sonically, I know what I'm looking for, but I also have a taste, you know? So not a lot of people like the lyrical music. You know, I have like kind of like a niche. More people are like looking for like a melody most of the time, like without words. But all my music has words in it. So like, I don't know, you know, it's like one of those things where I try to find like, I don't know, I try to look for in my music what I would look for in a song. Like I would look for it nowadays, you know what I mean? And I don't find a lot of what I'm looking for nowadays, you know? So I don't know.
Just out
yeah.
in music and stuff?
Yeah.
I feel like people too that like lyrical music like you're talking about. I don't really listen to a lot of music, but if I was a big music person, that's what I would listen to. And I feel like the people that do listen to it are maybe a smaller like niche like you're talking about, but they're super passionate about it.
Right.
Yeah, like they
I feel like those are the true music fans.
That
you know?
style of music, which is a good thing.
Right. People that actually listen to it rather than party to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I feel like people that listen to music, people that party to music, I feel like they're two different things, you know?
Like a song you hear on the radio that you're like, oh, you know that song, and you can hum kind of like the melody to it, but you don't actually know the words.
Yeah, like I don't necessarily make songs that you'd play at a party, you know, but I do sometimes, you know, but like that's not my
songs
style.
for people that like to listen to music.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. And smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta add
that is an interesting call, because I can definitely see, because your songs are so like lyrically heavy, I can definitely see getting high to them, and like, you know,
100%.
Sixth time around you hear a line that you never heard before and you're like, wow, like that's interesting.
My songs are so much better high. If anybody's smoking tonight, play Lil Homie.
I mean, I think most music usually is.
Yeah, well, it makes everything better, but
yeah. I'm trying to think. Maybe not like polka music. Maybe not something with like heavy brass where it feels like it's like screaming at you.
Yeah, it might freak me out.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
I want to go back and touch on the accordion a little bit because that's an underrated instrument. Do people still rip the accordion? Is that like?
I mean, we were just talking about Weird Al before we got here, Jay.
Like I want to see. I want the accordion to come back.
Anymore.
I want it to be, more heavily involved in modern music.
Because I feel like a one-man band with that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a key. You can't even call yourself a one-man band if you don't have an accordion.
Right.
That's a key element.
It's crazy.
I feel like it's an intimidating instrument, though.
He still plays.
Put
he still plays. He doesn't go out and play
anymore.
Of course. But still, like I come over to his house and watch him play that thing, and I'm like, wow, like for all the crazy stuff that we could do on computers and everything, that is still absolutely wow. That is a talent that like it's just like it really is an acquired talent, God given.
It seems like it could be very, very comforting to play because it feel like it's a full body experience kind of a little bit. I'm gonna mess with my mic real quick. There might be a pop in the headphones.
Come on, don't do it to me. It wasn't that bad. And I feel like
is that better? No, that sounds worse.
Were
I think actually.
Big when we were children. Like there was a lot of toy accordions to be found when we were children.
Yeah.
And they're very popular in cartoons.
Yeah,
but they never really took to the streets like they were supposed to, according to what I saw life in movies.
Bert from Mary Poppins,
sure,
one man band, accordion, key part of it.
I don't remember much of Mary Poppins, but I believe you.
Oh yeah, man. The accordion, you got to have the accordion, if you're gonna go out there. But yeah, it's an intimidating instrument because if you put a real accordion in most people's hands. I mean, sure, they would get like this part, but with the buttons and everything. I mean, it's a crazy instrument.
Yeah, it really is. Shout out my grandfather. He's really like the reason I'm into music too. So that's crazy. And the accordion.
Speaking of your family, man, I was listening to you on the No Label podcast, which those guys are the fucking best.
Yeah,
Nell
really
and Dante, they rule, dude. I love those guys.
They really are.
They're awesome. But I think it's I think it's adorable that your mom wants to come and travel with you and go to your shows and stuff.
Dude, she does. It's funny. I've been letting her come to all of my shows that I throw around here.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Anytime I'm on the road, it's Ma, you can't come.
Yeah, of course. The road, it's a different lifestyle, Mom.
It's my freedom. You know what I mean? Like, let me fly.
But dude, that's really sweet though, man. That's really nice that she wants to support you like that.
No, it's a blessing because like I know some people that their family doesn't come to their stuff and listen or support their music. So I mean to have that support system in my house is absolutely awesome. But not to mention my brother and sister are huge fans as well, and they come to all of my shows and post me all over the place and are my core support. So shout out to all of them as well. So
wow, man.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's got to help with your music a little bit, right? Like that's got to give you some kind of freedom knowing that these people have got your back so closely.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's hard because I obviously want to be where I want to be like right now, and I just have like that mindset where it's like that I gotta humble myself and bring myself back to reality sometimes because it's like I don't want to work a 9-to-5 job. I want to be an artist. I want to make money from this. I want to go do this and go do that, and I want to spend my money this way. And it's like, dude, you got to be smart. You got to take your time. You got to realize that you're playing a role right now to get to where you want to be. And they really keep me grounded and everything, and just kind of like make me realize that because sometimes I just be getting out of my head and sometimes in my head too much about just what I'm doing, you know what I mean? Because on the No Label podcast, I talked about how I'm very aware to the fact that what I'm doing is unrealistic in the minds of a lot of people, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like in my mind, I feel like it's very realistic. I feel like it's what I'm going to do. I feel like it's very achievable because I feel like I have the talent. But to a lot of people, it's a pipe dream. It's something that might not ever happen. It's something that's like not realistic, and like especially in Buffalo because we don't have a big market for. I mean, it's growing and it's doing very well right now. But it's like you go to make it out of Buffalo, you got to go to Atlanta, you got to go to New York, you got to go to people that have labels, offices, and people like where you can go pitch to people and actually make something. It's very hard to do that in Buffalo. You got to go other places. So. And I've been told that from multiple people. That's not something I knew right off the bat. So. I don't know. A lot of stuff goes into it, but definitely my family keeps me grounded, and that's just a huge thing. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit high right now. But to be honest with you, I'm rambling, but
it's all good,
man.
It's recommended before walking through the door.
Definitely,
so, yeah, no sweat. But yeah, man, being in your own head too much, that can be a big deal. We had Liale on back,
Shout out
a long
Liale.
time. Yeah, who I know you know. And she said a quote that I think about all the time, which is be where your feet are. And I think that's super important for especially creative people.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you're young, and tell me what you think about this, if this is how you felt at all, but I feel like I have to imagine when you're like a young creative person, it can be hard to relate to other people, so you do spend so much time in your own head, and then eventually you get to a point where you actually start creating, and that sort of thing which could have been a comfort to you for your whole life can actually become kind of a negative thing.
Yeah, no, that's definitely like I've lost friends because of my passion for music and because of what I'm trying to do, which I learned like if that happens and they're not really my friends anyways. So like I've learned a lot of things that are negatives about what I'm trying to do as well, like that have negatively impacted my life, but how it positively impacts my life is so far outweighs the negatives that it's always going to be worth it for me. So like I've promised myself that I'll never give up on this dream, no matter whether I'm 45 years old rapping in my garage. I will always be trying to do this. Like I have it tattooed on my body. Like it's with me for life. So I'm always going to be trying to be Jaydense. I feel like I am Jaydense. I feel like that's just who I am. Like we were talking about how we knew each other back in the day earlier, but and I was telling you that like I feel like I'm a completely different person now. And I just feel like it's because like I'm just one with my art. Like I feel like I was so passionate about what I was doing, about like coming up with like all the things that I'm doing and making music, that I feel like I've literally just become one with it, and it is who I am. And like a lot of people, that would scare them, and for me, I've just embraced it, and I just love it, and like it's what I do, man. Like I literally spend most of my time in the studio. Like I sleep in my studio on the couch, which is why like I need to be in sweatpants and comfortable clothes.
Oh, okay, that's
See,
why.
it comes full
Right.
circle.
Yeah.
No, and I think it's a tough thing for a lot of people to do, to go all in on something that's not guaranteed, right?
Right.
But it's kind of the only way, and along that path, like you said, there's going to be people who, not even necessarily people who laugh at it, but people who are like, oh,
Don't take it
good
seriously.
luck, but
Yeah.
what are the chances that truly happens? Because it is difficult, but it's the people that do what you're saying and doing,
Or
that,
it's the people that say like, oh dude, I'm so happy for you, great job, and then turn to other people and are like, yo, you hear what Jay's trying to,
Yeah,
something like that. So it's like,
Yep.
there's those people too that are like fake supporters
Yeah.
that follow
Yeah, that
you
is
and watch
weird.
what you're doing just to see, if you're failing or if you're not doing well.
Yeah.
And that's really
Yeah.
weird. And like that kind of took me by surprise with some people, because I just never expect that. I always just would hope for the best for like everything. I always like put the best in my mind. So, but I really didn't take into account how like much my passion and dreams would bother other people, which why would I, so
It's a weird thing, man.
Yeah.
It seems like it would take so much energy.
Well, part of it, I think,
like,
too, is like, people that feel that way probably also have aspirations of their own, of things that they wish they could do, but they're not willing to, kind of go above and beyond to sacrifice and kind of give up other things to get there. So they'd rather just kind of, be comfortable where they're at and
which if you're one of those people, man, stop doing that. Just if you have a passion, you love something, then do it. You know what I mean? Like if you're working at Wendy's right now, but you want to be an astronaut, get out of the Wendy's, go start going to get astronaut classes and become an astronaut.
Go buy some of that freeze-dried ice
I wonder
cream
how many
and
people
get to work.
I wonder how many people actually do aspire to be astronauts. Like I know when you're a little kid, people are like, I want to be an astronaut. But once you realize, like how far you have to go to be an astronaut, as far as like not only do you have to kind of be a rocket scientist, now you also have to be willing to get blasted off into space. Like I'm not a big fan of airplanes, so I'm definitely never pursuing a career in aerospace. Yeah.
There are other like things that you could do for that though. There's
Yeah,
astronomers.
you can be Houston, man. You can be the guy who's
That
like,
presses the button.
we got him. You can be the guy who like
I
when
would
they
love to do
land,
these.
you go
I
like
heard a
this and
woman-
you like light a cigarette.
I
or
heard
You
a-
could
whatever.
be an astronaut.
I
if you
actually
really
heard a
want to.
woman talk. This is crazy, but I heard a woman talk at a conference that I was at, and she was a rocket scientist for NASA, and she was in the room, but her entire like, well, I'll call it a TED Talk. It was not, but her entire like presentation was about this thing called imposter syndrome, which is like, you know, she had degrees from I don't remember the schools off the top of my head, but we'll say like MIT,
but they were good.
and
Trust,
yeah, whatever.
Trust,
Princeton,
they were good schools.
They were those.
You've heard of them.
Yeah, schools you've heard of.
Yeah,
and but she was like the only woman that was in that room. At, you know, the room where everybody shaking their fists when
with all the black ties
when they get
and
lifted up.
coffee.
She was the only woman in the room, and she was, you know, supposed to be there, and then she, you know, kept getting these higher and higher positions, but she kept, you know, feeling like she necessarily didn't belong, even though she clearly was qualified, and it was this whole imposter syndrome speech. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I feel like an imposter sometimes.
Yeah, and
Do you?
imposter syndrome
Yeah.
is a real thing. Like a lot of people like have it, and they, you know, she kind of talks about how like, you know, you walk into a room, and this is probably big too, more related to music. Like you're going to do a show, right, with maybe people that you don't know, and they kind of invited you out. So you walk in and you assume, oh, these people invited me to this show. They perceive me as this. So you kind of try to be, you know, in your mind, you feel like just being yourself might not be enough. You have to be this larger than, you know, your actual persona. But which ultimately just wears you down, when in reality the reason that they asked you to be in that show is because they see what you're doing when you are being you.
Right.
And it's kind of this whole like
that's also part of like
Yeah.
how I present myself too. Like I like I was telling you guys earlier, like I don't try to put like fancy stuff on. I don't try to like present myself as an artist. Like my art is what I'm talking to you guys, you know, what I'm saying, what I'm singing, what I'm writing is what is my art, you know, like, so I'm trying to work on that, to be completely honest with you. I tell people all the time, especially my friends that are artists, like, help me out with like what the hell you guys are wearing, because it looks really cool. I don't know what's going on, you know, but like I really don't dress the part. So like, especially when I go to shows where I'm with or people that don't know me before see me walk up on the stage, I know that they're thinking what I would be thinking if I was looking at myself. So it's like, you know,
this guy's just gonna move a couple of mic stands, and then the real act's gonna come
whose
out.
little cousin is walking on stage, you know, like something like that.
That's part of like what imposter syndrome is like you assume that you always feel like everybody is looking at you and like making a judgment off of that. But think about yourself, like how often people are walking past you or like doing things around you, and you're not actually focusing on those people. I mean, there are some people that are. Again, those aren't the people's opinions that you need to be worried about. But I feel like we always assume that at some point when things are going on, that everybody has their eyes locked on us. Or even if they are looking at you, it doesn't mean that they're sitting there thinking like, oh, what's this guy wearing? You know what I mean?
I think part of it too is that I like love like proving people wrong, like, and like even though I don't know what they're thinking specifically, I just know like that they might have a perception of me that might be different, and then for them to hear me, like when people hear me and I see the surprised look on their face, that's like, what were you thinking before? Did you not expect me to come up here and be good, you know? So it's like those like,
well, it's like
I think that's a big thing for competitive people. Sure, but like
a little chip on the shoulder, like assume that people think less of you, and it gives you the
drive.
You know,
it can be a big driving force. You know, it's like, you know, I mean, Michael Jordan obviously did that stuff to an extreme, like that story from The Last Dance where he talks about that guy like to talk shit to him or whatever, and then it turns out that like didn't even happen. You know,
he
like,
just put it in his mind.
Yeah,
and,
he just
and
creates
made
a
it
narrative.
up.
Or even God, there was some like tweet KD had, I want to say once, that was something like, you know, nobody wants to see me something or whatever, and it's like, dude, you already have like championships and stuff, like nobody's doing it. But for some very successful people, that chip never leaves their shoulder, you know, because it's such a big part of what drives them to be the best that they can.
Yeah.
So
100%. I agree with that. And I mean, I don't ever really make up narratives, but like I just have that in my mind. You know what I mean? I know that there's people that don't expect me to do what I'm doing right now, and that just in itself fuels me, you know? So
yeah, you put yourself in a position where there inherently is, I mean, a competitive nature isn't exactly the right thing, but like you said, proving people wrong.
Yeah, and I'm talking right now like I've already proved people wrong, and it's like I have, but like I'm just nowhere even close to where like I want to be or where I see myself. So like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work that hasn't even touched the surface yet, you know, a lot of work that hasn't been seen. And like, man, it's just gonna be really exciting. Like, I'm really excited for it. Like, I still have like all of my best songs that I am most passionate about, which, don't get me wrong, I'm very passionate about everything that I just dropped on Little Homie. I love that album. I listened to that album on the way here. But like I would just, like, I have so many songs that I love so dearly, like, that are just really good. A lot of features that are really awesome that, like, I cannot get myself to drop until I just know I have the right campaign for it. I know I have, like, the right support behind it. So just that in itself just excites me. Like, there's just so many things that are going to be coming this year and next year, and I'm just looking towards it. I'm already 3 albums ahead, you know, so
is that what you focus on, or do you still sometimes get caught up and kind of frustrated with the waiting? Do you kind of lose patience on, because you know this thing's going to happen and you're just not where you want to be
See,
yet?
I get that all the time,
Yeah.
where I'm patient, and I get upset where I'm not. Like, and it's actually, like, it contributes to, like, some of my depression and my anxiety and stuff like that. But, like, I have so many people that listen to my music, that really love it, that, like, wait on it, that message me all the time and just, like, tell me how great it is and which songs they love and stuff like that. And that just, like, it just makes me feel like I can never stop. It doesn't matter what, like, I've already achieved so much that, like, I can't stop. It's like, you know, I'm already halfway there, you know, like, I just got to keep going until, like, I reach where I'm trying to go, you know? So, like, a lot of it is starting, a lot of it is building a name for myself, you know? Like, if I didn't have at least somewhat credibility, I don't think I'd be sitting in front of you guys right now, you know? Like, but it's just, like, one of those things where, like, I don't know, I just love doing what I'm doing. I never gonna stop doing it until, like, hopefully it either works out or it fizzles out, one or the other, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
Either way, it's never gonna nothing's gonna stop me from doing it. And I've already hit super lows where, like, I was super depressed about not going anywhere and it being stagnant. I haven't dropped an album in a year and a half, so it's like there have been lows in between that where it's like, damn, like, something's got to come out, something's got to give. Like, where's my big break? Like, I sold, like, I had over 900,000 streams on Spotify for the last album, and I've been paid for, like, maybe 200,000 of them. So there's so many, like, streams that are missing that, like, we haven't been paid for, which is fine, you know, but, like, it's just, like, one of those things where I just, like, I want it to grow. I want it to keep growing. I've gone down in, like, you know, people listening since obviously not dropping an album in a year and a half, you know. You got to stay consistent. You got to, it's a lot of work. It really is, like, a job if you want it to be your life, you know what I mean? Like, you got to treat it like your occupation. Like, every single day I wake up and I go to the studio and I write and I try to make something new. And, you know, if I don't have beats at my disposal, then I go to YouTube. Like, it just, nothing could stop it. Nothing's gonna stop it. You know, I record every single time I have a chance to record.
Yeah, dude. You need to start treating it like a job before it becomes your job.
Yeah.
Like, I've known some, like, very talented people, and I mean, like, you know, you should just, like, put some things out. Like, do something, put it online, like, whatever. Just do something. And sometimes those people have said to me, I'd rather get paid for it, though. And I'm like, well, you're never going to unless you start actually just, like, being your own driving force, right?
I've made over $1,000 just from streaming revenue. So, I mean, like, that, like, I couldn't even see myself making over 20 when I started. So,
yeah.
Like, to think that I've made over $1,000 just in streaming revenue alone, which obviously since 2019 is not a way to live.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, it's still something, and it keeps trickling in, whether it's $5 or 20. Like, it trickles in, and it's somewhat of a give back for what you're doing, and, you know, even. There's new ways, especially in today's day and age, to make money off of music, some of which I definitely have to exploit and try. And, like, you know, I need to drop more mixtapes that are more, like, I feel like just, like, for my core people that really like don't hear everything for free off Spotify, you know what I mean? Like, things that are for, like, the true fans that are more exclusive to them.
Yeah. You just thought about starting, like, a Patreon or anything for that sort of thing? Or do you still want it out there? I mean, there could be, I don't know.
So, like, there's a lot of different ideas, man.
Yeah,
I think about so many different things. Like, we draw up so many different business plans in the studio for different things, and whether we execute them or not, they're still there, and we hope to revisit. But
you got, like, those clear math whiteboards or whatever, like Beautiful Mind style.
We actually
once
do a
it's
lot
erased,
of
the idea's gone.
Yeah. Like, Andrew, we've got a OnlyFans coming out for Andrew, so
oh, nice.
It's all solo shots. I am the photographer, though.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
Somehow that is
Yeah.
Somewhat terrifying.
That's super.
Full
That's
spread.
fucked up.
It's
I don't
full
know,
spread.
full spread.
Wow.
You gotta give the people what they want.
Listen,
I get
I
hounded
know.
about it a
You know,
lot.
Listen, you got to make a living somehow, right, Andy?
It is what it is.
Hey, do you know what? Like I was saying with the astronaut, if that's what you want to do,
Yeah.
Andy, I support your dreams. Just
Yeah.
I'm not gonna subscribe for any reason at all, but I'll definitely put it on my story if you'd like. Me to.
Yeah, he'll share it.
Oh, thanks,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, that means more than anything else.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Yep. I'm here for support.
I love that you listened to the album on your way over here, man. Because I mean, something that you've continued to say since we've been talking is, you know, you want to make music that you like, that you would listen to, and dude,
Yeah.
that is such a fucking important thing for musicians, obviously, especially, but anybody. Like, it reminds me of this thing I saw. This guy who was a part of like the Second City improv thing, and then he did like sketch. He was like a comedy writer, and he was saying, you know, you can. It's a trap to be like, well, I don't. This really isn't for me, but the audience, they'll like it. They'll enjoy this thing or whatever. Like, dude, you can't do that. That's disrespectful to everybody.
Yeah, it's not original. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And like I don't know. I also know a lot of like artists that I've talked to or that have come through the studio to record that go in there trying to make a song resembling another artist or their song, and it's like, what, you know, like you got to put your own spin on it. Like it's all right to have idols and to idolize somebody or to, you know, copy cadences in some different way, but like you got to be original with your stuff. Like if you're making stuff that somebody else has already mastered, then what's the point of putting it out, man? Like you're just like the fact that you dropped it is cool, but once he drops it again, you know, fuck your shit.
That's
you
a
know,
good
like
call.
but like
Yeah.
So
I try to make things that nobody else makes. You know, I try to make sounds that I haven't heard before in songs, but also sounds that I would listen to in songs, you know?
So then you kind of led me into what I wanted to ask next, which is not necessarily who do you know, think that you sound like when you make your own music, but you have said multiple times like you want to make music that you would like to listen to. Who is that? Who do you like to listen to right now?
I've said it a few times, but definitely J. Cole. I'm a J. Cole fan, like through and through. But like I've always like idolized the way that like his cadences, his poetic style, like everything, the way that he writes, like even down to some of his albums that not a lot of people like. Like if you go back to him, like I keep forgetting the For Your Eyes Only. Not a lot of people like that album. It's a very slow album. It's more like personal. Like there's a lot of long songs that are like 7 minutes, and it's an album that doesn't get listened to a lot. But even if you go back and listen to what he's saying, like it's absolutely amazing. Like it's like some of the songs, like if you like listen to them and like actually understand what he's saying, like will make you tear up because it will actually bring upon emotions. And I feel like that is just so cool. Like you don't get that from, you know, not to throw shade at anybody, but like a Lil Yachty. Like you don't like listen to Lil Yachty and start crying. You know what I mean? Like you really don't. Like there's not a lot of crying Lil Yachty
I never have
songs.
cried to a Lil Yachty song that I can
Right.
remember.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But it's coming.
But him talking about like just all these different things and about a friend that he had who his friend died, and he's writing this whole entire song to his daughter and telling him how amazing his father was and all these things. Like it's just like so many different things that have just like so many rich emotions in them, and I love that, and I try to recreate that in my own way. Like I don't have a lot of those things to write about, you know, so it's like I don't ever try to fake what I write either. Like I talk about sometimes money that I don't have and cars that I don't have, which is like every other artist, but like I also like try to stay completely true to myself. Everything that I write about is things that I've actually gone through. Like I save experiences in my life for songs. You know what I mean? Like I go through things and I see things and I'm like, you know, this would be a really good idea for a song. And I'll put it down as an idea in my notes and I'll revisit it 3 months later when I see the note and I'm like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? And like that's just like that's part of my art that makes it so cool, is because like I'm really like I was telling you guys earlier, like I'm one and one with what I'm doing. Like my art is literally me. Like every single word that you hear in there is like what I felt and what I put on that page, because I was like thinking it that day. And that's like how like I think of myself and how I think of the world. Like all of these things are elements of my music. You know what I mean? And that just for me makes it so special, you know? Like I love doing what I'm doing, you know, whether it makes me $0 going forward, it's still what I love to do, and I'll still continue doing it, even if it doesn't even make me a cent for the rest of my life, you know? That would suck, and that would really fucking suck, but, you know, if it didn't, I would still do it, because it's just the love for it, you know? At the end of the day, it's the passion that I have for what I'm doing.
Yeah, man.
And I feel like that's where all the greats started. I feel like all the greats are like that in anything, not even just rap, like even in sports. Like Kobe was in the gym every single day. Every single day. He was the first person there, you know? The first thing I do when I wake up, I go to the studio, I feed my studio cat, I start working.
You
know?
have a studio cat?
I have a studio cat.
What's a cat's name?
His name's Cash.
Cash?
Yeah. It's a manifestation cat.
Oh my god, dude.
We should get a studio cat.
Shout out Cash.
Yeah.
My boy.
All right.
I don't
Who's
think
gonna
it's a good idea.
Who's gonna deal with the
Not me.
poop?
Emily.
Hey, see, I'm a dog person too. Like I love dogs. I had a dog when I was younger, Shepherd Lab named Sparky. But I love cats right now, and I think it's just because of where I am in my life. It's a laziness thing. Cats take care of themselves. You don't ever have to worry about a cat shit. 'Cause it will shit in the litter box, and it will cover it, and it will walk away, and you're good to go, man.
I love cats and dogs. We never had a dog growing up, but I've kind of since inherited a dog. So I pretty much have a dog now, and I had 2 dogs for a while because my roommate had a dog too, and I've came to love dogs. But I still love cats because cats are just different. Like they don't want to fuck with you until they want to fuck with you, and then they'll come hang out with you.
I respect
for like 15 minutes. You'd be like, wow, me and this cat have been chilling for 15 minutes. And they'll be like, yeah, now I'm gone. I'll see you in 3 days.
Right.
And then they're just out.
Yeah.
And it's certain types of
And I
cats
like
too.
it.
Like there are like cats that just hide all the time, and they're very not sociable. And then like my cat at the studio, like if you are laying back in any sort of fashion, he's on your chest in 2 seconds. Like he's just like one of those dudes that it's like, you will love me now because I said so. and that's just really dope. Like I love having it at the studio. And part of the reason why I got the studio cat is because it makes sure that I'm there every day. Like I can't not feed that cat. I have a living thing that I'm responsible for. So I go there, I have that responsibility, and then I work on what I got to work on.
See, I like that, especially because the cat's name's Cash. That's like
yeah.
No, that's a
real life metaphor.
Yeah,
in that cat
yeah.
around.
This is
That's sick.
We're building a great storyline.
I'm liking this.
No, I know. Me too. A lot, and it is true. Like people that become great at what they do are great for a reason. There's no greatness without sacrifice. There's no greatness without pain. You gotta, everybody wants to be famous. Nobody wants to put the work in. We say it all the time.
That's right.
On a less serious note.
Oh, is it who would win time?
It is who would win in the week time.
Okay, we'll jump into the. Oh, I'll get the. Well, the who would win in the week this week is Hubba Bubba Bubble Tape versus Fruit by the Foot. I'll get the props out right now. This is gonna be a lot of fun for the audio.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's gonna be a lot of smacking.
Where'd you find them? At Target? I bet you they sell Fruit by the Foot at Target.
Of course they do. I got these at Tops though, I think, and I got these at Walgreens.
Man.
So, who would win in a fight? Fruit by the Foot, Bubble Tape.
Do we have a distance?
Sweet.
On the Fruit by the Foot?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I believe we looked it up. I think it was around 3 feet.
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
I the Hubba Bubba too?
Oh, yeah. I remember measuring one at the cafeteria table when I was a kid, and it was like 3 feet long from what I remember. Oh yeah, get it right up to the mic.
Fruit by the Foot is
right up
about
to the
3
mic,
feet
baby.
long. So right off the bat, Hubba Bubba has the advantage. 6 foot.
I don't believe that.
6 feet of fun.
I don't
talking
believe
about
that,
like
though.
who would win in a physical fight?
Who would win in a physical altercation?
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I
Okay.
think I got my answer.
Let's do a stress test real quick. Actually, pop yours open there, Matthew.
Pounds of force.
Yeah, like pull on it, because this is pretty.
Let me see.
Like this is pretty.
Yeah, because it's got that
it's not
gooey.
bad. It's got some good give.
Well,
to it.
here's the thing. There's a big difference between. I'm about to manhandle all this too. There's a big difference between fresh Hubba Bubba Bubba tape. See that's not very malleable. But like when this shit gets stale too.
True. But I mean, it'll be like a big
it just
old
cracks.
It'll be like a big old block. It'll be heavy. It'll be dense. But I don't think
But
it's
there's
going to
also
necessarily
6.
help
There's
it.
3 additional feet. This is double the
I
size.
don't believe that though. That's what it says on there,
Isn't
but I
this shit,
don't
like,
believe
all
that it's 6
powdery,
feet.
though?
It
Oh,
is
yeah.
mad
Soft.
powdery.
It's not very like its flavor's already gone.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Sorry for chewing. I'm separate.
No, that's all right.
Separate myself while
Dude,
I
I
chew.
love
But
this
I had
is
to put
called
it in
like
my mouth.
fruit leather, right? Isn't that what you call this stuff?
Fruit leather?
Yeah, I think that's what you call it.
Sure.
It's so good. Fruit roll-ups, dude. I love
Put the
them.
lotion on the skin, Andy.
Jesus Christ.
All powdered up.
Yeah.
That's
I feel
true.
like LeBron James before a game.
Hubba bubba.
With bubble tape.
Right.
So, but I here's my big thing
Man, now you got me rethinking my answers and shit
is
now.
I think that Hubba Bubba Bubba Tape, although there's 3 additional feet, which is not to be forgotten, it is way less durable.
I mean, we've just proved that with the little...
Yeah.
Right.
With the baby stress test.
Yeah.
Look
at that.
But
I was thinking fruit by the foot.
But
I don't
And
know.
now you think bubble
wait,
tape?
question.
Because of the powder?
Does
I
the
think it's
fruit
also
by
because
the
it comes
foot?
in a shell.
Yes. Does the fruit by the foot shell count as like a turtle shell? Because I
Right.
kind of think
Yes.
it does because it can kind of.
But if it's
poke
just gonna
itself out a
hide
little
in
bit at a
there,
time.
if Hubba Bubba bubble tape is a coward,
If we're using all different sorts of tests, like I just opened both of these things completely. It took me 0.3 seconds to open that fruit of foot, but I had to rip both sides off this
Yeah.
and tear it open. and
Yeah,
everything.
there was
It's even
2
got a
tear
clicky
to
thing.
opens.
Like I could
it's
take
literally
this with
like
me.
the fallout shelter of gum.
Yeah,
It's the bubble tape.
Once
You
it's
like
out of its
store-
wrap,
It's a
it's
hermit
gone,
crab.
you know what I mean?
It's a hermit crab.
It is
Right.
a hermit crab.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You said fuck.
Well, yeah, because
This is a hard one, man.
Hubba
It's a good
Bubba's
one.
got the defense, but I think fruit by the foot has got the offense, especially with the powder. I think it would help the fruit by the foot like grab onto the bubble tape if it needed like jujitsu it or like grapple
and
it
there's
or whatever.
that's got some stick to it too. I almost think that if
It has
if
some stick,
it were,
yeah.
were to boa constrictor.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Jay.
If
Thank
it were
you.
to boa constrictor, the plastic, it is plastic, but I almost think it could
It
pop
could
it open.
Yes.
I think it could pop it open, boa constrictor style.
100%. And once
Wow.
that happens, the
yeah.
tape is
that
done.
changes it. Yeah, because once it's out of the shell, I mean, I think that fruit by the foot really has the advantage. But
This is hitting the
while
spot
it's
right
in
now.
the shell,
This is the
it's-
first time we've ever had
But it can
product
get it.
in
It can
hand.
get it out of the shell. Yeah, that's true.
We
It
need to
makes a
get
big
more
difference.
product in hand.
I know. Well, we do more food ones, then maybe we can do
No,
it.
we do characters now too. We have to have.
I just accidentally ate the Hubba Bubba. I hope it doesn't.
Nah, that's okay. What do they say?
Consume me
6
from the
years
inside.
gum sits in your stomach. Did I make that up?
Yeah, I don't know if that's true either. See, I don't trust Hubba Bubba. I think it's a coward. The more we talk about it, I don't like Hubba Bubba.
It's got
I was
virtually no flavor.
I
Nah.
think
Like, it is-
God damn it. Hubba
Like if we're talking
Bubble tape
personal
sucks.
preference, fruit by the foot by a mile.
I mean,
But
right now,
I don't
I'm
know.
very much enjoying this, and I mean, you can
I
keep
don't
that
like the
gum.
way
I'm
that
not
you're
even
eating it,
tempted
though.
to try it.
Like I'm a.
This
fruit
is
by the
not
foot.
how I. This is not how I'm just eating it like this for the show, Matthew.
There was times where I would completely unroll and ball
Well,
up
that's
and
the
eat it in one bite.
Oh, you mean how it's supposed to be eaten? 100%. Which here's a real fucking question for you guys. Which one of these has caused more lunchroom fatalities?
Oh shit.
Probably fruit by
Probably
the foot
fruit by
because
the
that
foot
shit will get stuck
or
in your
that?
like it gets gummy, but
Well,
like
so,
not
I
gum.
mean, that's literal gum.
no,
Double
but
tape's
this
literal
shit
gum.
isn't literal gum.
But you do the same thing.
That
I
with
say
gets
Hubba
clogged.
Bubba. You could whip this at somebody's head.
yeah,
that shit
that's
would
true.
hurt.
I'm
You
talking.
get violent. I mean, see, he's
That's
talking
true.
self.
I'm talking because you eat them both the same way by just seeing how much of it you can glom
Do
in
you
your
think I
mouth
could
at one
eat
time.
this whole thing right now?
I do think you could.
I don't think I'm gonna try.
No,
I
because
thought
you
about
might-
it.
So
But I don't
actually,
want
fruit
to.
by
Dude,
the
I
foot
heard a
probably.
kid at another school tried that and he died.
Yeah, that's classic. That's textbook.
So which one took out more people? I think the bubble tape.
See, I think fruit by the foot because it gets more clogged. You have a higher chance of being clogged up with the fruit by the foot. But there are 3 extra feet, so
I'll
I'm
do
gonna
a
say
mini
fruit by the
test
foot.
with the
Fruit,
gum.
oh my god, fruit by the foot.
what do you mean a mini test?
Because I just glommed up the remaining fruit by the foot to check its consistency and
I'll
like
say 'cause of the
choking
paper.
ability.
I gotta get this.
People choke on the paper
on,
and something.
Choke on the paper, man. Dude, if you choke on the fruit by the foot paper, that's on you. Like they cannot be held liable for you doing that.
You didn't say
These
what
things are-
grade
did-
the lunch
do
was.
Do these things like are these the ones that you could stick on your tongue and get
They don't
the
have
color
they
off?
don't have tattoos on them.
But they did at one point in time.
Sometimes,
This is
yeah.
awesome. I feel great right now. But I'm definitely going fruit by the foot. I'll lock my answer in. Fruit by the foot all day long. That's for the who would win of the week and the fatality question. Emily, would
Man.
you like a fruit by the foot?
Oh yeah, you weren't.
Sure.
Are they vegan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are they vegan?
I don't
Is,
actually know.
is
if
Hubba
Emily-
Bubba vegan?
I don't
or
actually know if
vegetarian?
I was gonna say I don't know if Emily's vegan.
There's no gelatin in them.
Oh, okay. Gum
Ge-
definitely used to be
gelatin's
made
not
out of
vegan?
like orphans or something. Like Mr. Wrigley, like the original Wrigley, like the original
Yeah.
like fucking baron of chewing gum.
Yeah.
He was like, let me get a couple orphans.
Or like,
Big League Chew.
Sell this chewy product.
dude,
That.
Big League Chew.
I think you would choke on this way easier than you choke on, because the whole point of the bubble tape, the whole point of gum, right, is that
I think gum would
it
kill my
stays
kids.
in your. I think the
I
gum is
totally
still good.
understand why they ban why like people want to ban things like Big
This is
League Chew and
tasty.
stuff like that, because like I chewed a lot of Big League Chew growing up, and I was like, look how sick this is.
Yeah.
And then I also used chewing tobacco for like the longest time
Yeah.
of my life, because I was like, yeah, dude, I used to do this shit when I was
what the
young. It
pros
was fucking
do.
cool. Exactly. So I can get behind them being like, maybe we shouldn't do this, but also as a kid, you're still cool as fuck for throwing in a fat Big League Chew
Oh,
wad.
100%, dude. You got like the gelled hair, sunglasses on,
Yep.
fighting necklace. Is that what they
Yep.
were called?
Yep.
That's a
DC
big League
shoes.
Chew
Yep.
kid. Oh,
No.
Christ.
Yeah,
Those
that's a good look.
clunkers.
So I'm locking in fruit by the foot. This is delicious, by the way.
This is a lot of fun,
I might
man.
take this box home for dinner.
Man, I'm torn. I
Well-
don't know what to answer. I thought I had the answer in my head, but now I'm going back and forth. You know, I'm teeter-tottering here.
I think the fruit by the foot, because it's got the offensive edge, whereas Hubba Bubba's got the defense. But I think that fruit by the foot would be able to penetrate the Hubba Bubba defensive if it really had to, because it's very malleable as well.
You guys have been
right?
watching the Sabres lately. We need good defense. You know what I
The
mean?
best
Good
defense is a good offense.
Right.
No, the best offense is a good defense.
That
Sorry,
is
I fucked
true.
That up.
That is the
But
true. That's
I
the
think-
saying, but
I
this
think
may
that-
also ring true.
Well, so okay. Now you've got my brain cooking, because I do think that the fruit by the foot would boa constrict that Hubba Bubba tape. But the problem
like
is
that
if the
terminology.
Hubba Bubba tape, if the fruit by the foot tried to attack too soon when it only had a crack in the shell, the Hubba Bubba tape would chomp down on it, and that's what it does. Is it cuts? It cuts tape,
My God,
gummy tape in half.
this fight will never end.
Here's the other thing, though. Like, we had to rip the paper off both sides to get this thing to open. You know what I mean? If you try to rip it without it'd probably take a good amount of force to get this open.
But if the paper's not open, then it can't attack at all. So
I mean,
then it's already in a
Yeah.
bad place. And if the fruit by the foot does mess up the container, if it does constrict it, like you were
what
saying,
would it take to
it's
kill
gonna-
them? Like, I
I that's
think that's the best question.
that stuff from, like, you ever see Who Framed Roger
Do
Rabbit?
they have to be split completely in half, or like completely?
I don't know, because
What
I will say I do think it's like, you know how, I don't know, I honestly don't know if this is even true, but like if you cut a worm in half, then you just have two worms.
I don't think that's true.
That's what I've always heard.
From who?
I don't know, science.
Unless Bill Nye says it.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna say Hubba Bubba. I think it's got a better
Jay,
boxer name.
I think you're crazy, dude. I think fruit by the foot all the way, and I'm locking that in.
I know, and I already locked in fruit by the foot, but I almost want to say
Spit this
Hubba
out. Don't
Bubba.
put the camera on me. Emily.
My problem is that if fruit by the foot does penetrate the Hubba Bubba is toast.
Wait, pause. No, I'm joking.
Oh, yeah.
No, listen.
No,
No.
sometimes in the heat of battle, okay, in the heat of passion, things happen.
Emotions
dude.
arise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I say all the time,
Okay.
it's only sus if you make it sus. Right? Right, Andy?
I don't know.
You know, Hubba Bubba really is just kind of like a fruit by the foot that's in the closet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. I don't know what to
There's
say
a
here.
song somewhere in there.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna stick to my guns because I say to Andrew all the time, you can't ruin the integrity of the game. So I'll go with fruit by the foot. That's 2-1. Fruit by the foot over Hubba Bubba. Lock that in. Vote in
Damn.
on Instagram
That's
on
close.
Friday. Yeah, that's tough. And usually, I will side against Andrew, but today
It's fruit by
him
the
and I
foot,
are on the same
baby.
page. That shit is so good.
Oh yeah, it seriously is you. Oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna take this with me. And
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
take one for the road too. Did you only get one box?
Yeah.
Mistake.
I didn't know. Well, it does say 6
It's a
rolls on it. I
mistake.
thought it would be enough. Okay, we're just doing it. We're just doing it for science.
Yeah,
It
but
is
there
what
was.
it is.
But I would take one for later. I might stop at what tops? The one on.
the one right over there
Oh yeah,
on like
Young
Young
Street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good
See-
who would win. I'm glad we finally got to do that one, man.
I really want to know who would win though.
Well, we're doing the poll will be up on Friday on Instagram, so
Yeah,
we'll
so the
see
people
if
will
We'll
vote.
actually know.
see what the
You guys
people
gotta
decide.
vote.
If
Well,
there's somebody
sometimes-
smart enough out there to develop a software,
If Hubba Bubba wins, do I get something?
A sense of pride.
a roll, another roll
Okay.
of Hubba Bubba. Your choice of flavor though, because they used to sell like grape.
Oh, yeah,
ones,
they
too,
sell
and stuff.
Gross.
Watermelon?
Grape flavored gum is
Nah,
gross.
grape flavored stuff.
No, like
Grape flavored Big League Chew
Yeah, that's
was
what
the
I'm
best
saying.
Big League Chew.
I don't think that's very tasty.
And like
think
it
it's
was
yucky.
limited edition.
think
Not
it's
everywhere had grape flavored Big League Chew.
Sure.
Um,
It's like how you go to some McDonald's and they sell like mozzarella sticks and shit.
I found out the other day that in Tim Hortons you can go and get a peanut butter and jelly bagel.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, like peanut butter and jelly on a bagel?
Yeah.
Did you know that in Canada, McDonald's has like poutine there too?
You
I meant.
you
Did
gotta
I
do it
say
to
in
compete.
Canada Tim Hortons? Did I say that? That's
No.
what I meant.
Oh, okay.
In Canada, the Canadian Tim Hortons, not in America.
Yeah.
Sorry, I misspoke.
They got some dope shit in Canada, man.
Yeah, they have Tim Hortons in Canada. Also have this is not a Tim Hortons ad, but they used to have it in the U.S. They do not anymore. They still sell in Canada. It's like a juice. It's like apple juice, but it's called Peach Passion. You would love it.
I do love peach and I do love passion.
It is like the greatest. It is the ultimate hangover cure. Like it is so cold and refreshing. You drink that on a warm summer day. Pff, my God, you're ready to go. Firing on all cylinders.
Oh, beautiful.
Noted.
Yeah, we will keep that in mind the next
No,
time we're
I'm
on
just-
our way to Toronto.
Yeah, listen, Peach Passion.
I'm actually in
Yes.
Toronto a lot. I love it down there, man.
See,
Yeah.
there you
It's
go.
fun.
You got to try Peach Passion now.
You got to go out on
Um,
King Street.
we
It's
talk-
fun down there.
We talked a little bit about, or you talked a little bit about kind of going different places, specifically with your mom coming to see you. Do you have any shows coming up around here with the new album out, or?
Right now it's kind of up in the air. I'm definitely doing another one soon. I'm just kind of looking for the next venue. I moved it around for my two shows the two headlining ones that I did last year at Ironworks and at Showplace. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to go back to one of them. I don't know which one I want to go back to. I don't know which just kind of direction I'm going in. I also want a theme show. So now that I have Lil Homie out, I'd really like to incorporate some of those. I just did with Liale a show at Milky's.
With the whole Olean crew, man.
Yep.
How'd you get
Yeah.
in contact with them to do that show?
So I actually knew Liale. I've done a couple little shows with her, and we kind of just support each other over social media and stuff like that. I always was reaching out to tell her that her music was dope. She was always reaching back to tell me that mine was dope too. So we're that just kind of made us friends right there. And then we met each other at a show that we did, Twisted Festival for last Halloween, and then she hit me up and she asked me about doing the show at Milky's, and I was like, yeah, definitely. I'd definitely be down for that. So I told them that if I do another show that's around here, that they should come out and perform with me too. So if I do another show coming up here, they are most likely going to be there.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
We've had that whole crew on. Like,
Trey
Carney,
and Carney.
Yeah.
Great guys, dude.
Actually, little exclusive piece of information. Me and Carney just worked on a track together. From after the show, he was we were just giving each other mad support, and he sent over a track, and I bodied it and sent it back to him. So he's hopefully it'll be out sometime this year. But yeah, me and him got some work together. Me and Liale are definitely working on something. I promised her that we've actually been working on something before me and Carney started, so I got to get her something before she gets mad at me. But yeah,
it's gonna be cool, man. You guys seem like you'd mesh. Very well together.
Yeah, and I definitely want to do something with Trey too, because he's got a really big Earth Gang vibe. I was telling him, and I really like Earth Gang. I really like all the guys on Dreamville. So I really think that we would have a cool dynamic on a track.
He cracks me up too.
Oh, he's
Trey?
funny. As hell.
He's a
funny
great
as hell.
dude.
Great
Yeah.
dancer too.
Yeah, he definitely has a larger than life personality.
A lot of energy, man. I love that. So I'm like a low energy person. I like being around high energy people.
Yeah,
because
that.
it brings it out of me. So
Yeah.
you know,
It kind of I agree. I
you
like
could definitely
that too.
feed off that dude's.
Yeah,
energy
kind of
for
like
sure.
takes a little of the pressure off you. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to be
Which is
sad
kind
around
of
that dude.
Yeah.
You know
Which
what
is
I
kind
mean?
of it's a gift that
Yeah.
people like that give to folks. Matthew has kind of that same thing. Actually, he's got a very big personality. I would say different from the way that like a guy like Trey does.
Yeah.
because he's
I do my
obviously a
best.
performer.
Yeah.
He's got that in him.
I like
I-
all those guys, man. They're
I-
good kids.
Oh, they're the
I
best.
do admit that, sometimes I try to, I'll walk in here before, whoever's coming on the show gets here, and I'm just, dead to the world. Like, if Andrew's like, hey, I'm like, don't even fucking look at me. Like, just, I need like 5 minutes to just like try to find a little bit of energy. And then the second we're up, boom.
Right.
You just throw the cans on and you snap into it.
Starts singing in his all high pitched.
Yeah. I chime in with the haven't you people ever heard of?
Closing the goddamn door.
See?
I haven't heard you.
And I kind of
that one in a
nailed
while.
that too.
Okay, I don't.
In my opinion.
That's not.
Emily?
It was more in your range, I guess.
Not
bad.
Man, okay. Quick announcement, because so many people have been where you're sitting right now, Jay, and told Matthew that, like, you know, he'll do a little singing thing and be like,
do a
"Oh
riff.
yeah, not
I'll
bad."
do-
He'll do a riff. And like, you can tell him the truth. Like, just stop lying to him and tell him that he's good. That's an important thing. Sometimes you don't have the juice, and people got to let you know you
Oh,
don't
but
have
that's-
it. You have the juice in so many other areas, Matthew, but vocally,
It's all about charisma.
you're juiceless. Vocally, you're juiceless. Yeah, I mean, you've got great.
That's what they got
charisma,
auto-tune
but
for, man.
Yeah, see?
Just fix it. Just
You're the
pitch
white
correct it.
T-Pain. I've said that about you for years, actually, since you were born. We've known each other for a very long time, and I've always said that he's the white T-Pain.
Me and T-Pain, yeah, I can see it.
Yep.
Listen.
You're a little better with money, though, I guess I would say.
Well, yet to be proven. I don't think I've ever had T-Pain money. I feel like he probably had, at one point in time, probably was doing pretty well for himself.
I pride myself on sounding like my record when I perform. Like, I feel like that's a huge thing, and that's why
100%, man.
actually I don't even use like my tracks behind myself. Like, only for like the hooks I'll put them in, but like my verses are literally just a beat. Like, I remember every single one of my lyrics. I wrote them. How do I forget? So I like literally I remember all of my lyrics, and I go up there and I try to perform the track exactly the way I did it into the mic. And if I can't like perform the record, then it's not my record. You know what I mean? Like,
I hear that.
Yeah, but I will say there are some songs that are a lot easier to perform than others. Some that, like, you know, I might have just sang it really good that day, and like today I really need a tea, you know, like something like that. Like,
Yeah, of course.
but
That's the way to do it, though, man. And I
Yeah.
feel like it keeps things in perspective, because if people depend on the track too much, then they could still, obviously, that frees them up in a way to focus on certain other elements of the performance. But I think eventually you can get to a track where you're focusing so much on those other elements that it takes you away
And
from the music. And
sometimes I like to switch my flow up.
sure,
Because, like, I'll take, like, the same lyrics, but, like, instead of doing a na-na-na-na, do a na-na-na-na, you know, or something like that, you know what I mean? And just kind of, like, put more... Yeah, right, you know, just kind of, like, go, like, you know, change the pitch and just do little things that make it better, you know, sing certain verses with more energy. And if I had a low-energy take going on behind me, it's just not going to sound good. So, like, it gives me more expression, more creativity when I'm performing, which is really cool. And I love performing. Like, that's, like, honestly my favorite thing. Like,
Yeah.
I like recording songs, and that's really fun, and I love making them, but performing them is by far the best part. Like, engaging with people, seeing their response to what you're doing, like, actually, like, you know, talking. Like, I just love, sometimes when I rap, I feel like I'm talking to you. Like, I'm trying to make you understand what I'm saying line by line, you know? So I'll pick people out of the crowd where I'm talking to them, and I'm, like, just trying to, like understand me, you know? So it's just, like, I don't know. That shit is just so fucking fun to me. I love performing. So fun.
when you jumped into performing, you started recording or putting out music in 2019, right?
Yeah.
And then you went, like, right into performing. Is that true?
Yeah.
Were you nervous about that at all? Were you, like, kind of afraid to get your toes wet, or was it just kind of like, well, this is the next step, because you're always thinking about the end goal?
I'm going to be honest, I was nervous for probably like 15 minutes. 15 minutes of my whole entire career I was nervous, and it's because it was when I told myself I wasn't going to be nervous going to the show. It was my first one. I talked about it on No Label a little bit. It was at Buff State. It was for a group called BAM, Black Active Minds, and it was like Buff State show in the auditorium, like I said, called Words and Lyrics. So I was there. I was like the headline in that, because they saw me and I auditioned for them, and they loved what I did. Like, the song that I performed, like, they thought it was really, really good. So only the people in the group knew of what I was capable of. You know what I mean? And it's because I was there rapping for all of them, and they just loved it, and they were like, we're gonna put you at the end. So at the end of the show, like everybody's there. Everybody that's supposed to be there is there. It's the end of the show. Here's like the final act. I walk up onto stage, and you could hear a pin drop in that place. Like, there was no, it was crickets. Like, I could hear birds outside. And like I walk up onto stage, and I just started doing a acapella thing. There's no beat behind me, and I'm just talking. And as I'm talking to the crowd and just rapping, just saying different words, I think I had a line in there about smoking weed, and right after that line, like, I'm starting to hear the reactions in the crowd. I'm starting to hear people like the laughing, the like yup, like, you know, like shit like that, like the yup, you know. So and as I'm going along, like, all the nerves are going away because people are starting to understand me, and by the time the beat hit, everybody's on their feet. I took off my jacket. I felt like Superman. I went around. I did like the song. I had all the energy in the world because I felt like everybody in the room was with me. And the only time I was nervous is when I felt like nobody in that room was with me. So now, like, whenever I go into a performance, like, now they're like damn near my shows. Everybody that's there knows my songs, you know what I mean? Like, they're people that I know, they're people that support me and that I support back. So like now, like, there's no reason for me to be nervous. I go up there and I love it. It's like my favorite shit in the world. It's like an adrenaline rush. It's like a drug. It really is.
I believe it. I've
So
never
fun.
I've never performed anything on stage, and I don't think I ever should.
Well,
but I
you're
imagine
karaoke.
And it's funny because I have anxiety. Like, I have anxiety,
Oh, yeah.
especially social anxiety too. And it be in performing, I have none of it for that.
Yeah.
Like I'll go up and perform in front of 500 people and just remember every single lyric and walk off stage, and then I'll sit there in front of my camera and try to do a promotional video for 30 seconds, and I'll walk out 5 minutes later and say, fuck this shit, I don't want to do this. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
it's hard for
Well-
me to like actually just talk. And like, you know, just like that's where I get most of my anxiety from. But performing and being Jaydense and doing my art and what I'm like really passionate about, like, bro,
It makes perfect sense, man, because
You know?
it's the most authentic you.
Right.
And that example you gave of doing a little 30-second promotional video is a perfect example because it's the complete opposite of that.
Right.
Like, I mean, we know from experience doing that shit, it kind of feels super shitty. Like,
and TikToks and shit like that.
Oh,
My
my
brother tells me
God,
all the time,
dude.
he's like, bro, you don't even want to be famous. You ain't getting on TikToks. And
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like, I know you're right, but at the same time, fuck you, because I don't know how to do TikTok. I'm not that type of person, bro. I'm not the type of person to sit in front of my camera and like just, you know, I'm just like not that dude. But like, as part of the game, I gotta do it.
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
I just always think
I gotta
like,
find people that know how to do it. If you're watching this and you know how to make TikToks, help me, man. Help me, somebody, please.
It brings me back to what you were saying earlier, like about how your mom wants to come on shows with you, because our mother, unfortunately, does this thing, and I know she's gonna listen to this, where every time like we're out to dinner, like as a family, you know, like
Right.
whenever, like her instant reaction is to like tell our waiter,
Yeah.
like,
She'll be
hey,
like,
my sons have a
do
podcast.
You, do you listen to podcasts? Do you drive a lot?
And it's like there's no worse endorsement than your mother randomly bringing up that her two sons have a podcast.
So how do you think it feels when she goes to people and tells it, do you like rap music?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So-
Yeah.
Moms, man, you
Yeah,
gotta love
but-
them.
yeah.
You gotta love them.
When
But
she puts
it-
me all
yeah.
over her Facebook.
Oh my God, dude.
My beautiful, gorgeous son has a show this weekend. Will you guys
Thank-
please
yeah.
show your
My,
support?
our cousin.
And I love it.
Oh God!
You know?
This one time, his mom took a picture of him and his sister, and they were out to like dinner or whatever. And, you know, very nice little picture. And then his mom cropped his sister out of it and like zoomed in on his face and posted it on her Facebook with the caption, hashtag handsome son challenge. I was like, that is.
That's some shit my grandma would do.
Oh
my grandma
God,
low-key
dude.
be on
They love
Instagram,
it.
bro.
They love it.
And she be commenting on all of my stuff. She'll
Oh.
probably, if you guys post something, she'll probably comment on it. You'll like,
See,
you know,
those
Oh,
are the
looking
best
forward to it.
comments.
Oh,
though.
100%.
Yeah.
because
those
there's
are
the
the only
comments that I
ones.
look at and it's like I debate deleting them for 30 seconds and then I'm like, it's my grandma, I can't delete it.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
bad if I
yeah.
did.
Mhm. Exactly. Let everybody else see it. So
Like, it's
where
low-key embarrassing, but I love you.
so where can people find you on social? Where can they find your music?
Man, you can find me at anywhere you stream music. My artist name is Jaydense, Jaydense. You can find me on all social platforms at It's Jaydense, ITS, Jaydense. And yeah, man, like I said, I got a lot of stuff coming out. Like, this is just a, you know, tip of the iceberg here. Like, I got so much work that I got right now, like multiple artists from different genres of music, man. I've been working on a lot of R&B and pop stuff. I've been working on, you know, just with my own flair to it, you know, of course my classic Jadense verses and all that stuff, but like just with more elements, you know. I learned that like rapping and making music or making songs are two completely different things. Like, you could be a great rapper, but you could be absolute shit at making a song, you know. So it really is two different art forms. So I'm just I feel like I've like I'm almost where I want to be craft wise when it comes to rapping. Now I'm really trying to work on making songs that people are going to be humming when they're walking into school, like shit like that. Like people, not trying to cater to anybody's specific style like we were talking about earlier, but just just really in like putting all of the elements into my craft like together and just trying to make like quality music every single time, and then having the campaign behind it. So I'm gonna have a lot of stuff coming out, man. I'm really excited. Definitely tap in. Lil Homie out now, 8 songs. You find that on everything: Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, Amazon, whatever you got on your phone. I got it. It's on there. So
we'll toss your like link tree or whatever that's in your Instagram bio. We'll toss that in the episode description. We'll toss your Instagram link in there and all that stuff. So
appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man. Dude, this was super fun, pal. We really appreciate you coming on. This was a blast.
Fun. Hubba bubba, man. It's got defense. That's why. Okay.
It's not. You can't hide forever. You can't hide forever.
Listen, the fruit roll up ain't smart enough.
There's
to get
nothing
the shell
I
out.
respect
This is a fruit
more
by the
than
foot. This is not a fruit roll.
Oh,
It's a fruit roll that went to community college.
Either of them. You went to community college.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna say he didn't go to all those schools that woman went to when she was talking about imposter syndrome. But he
great speech.
He's
I'm
got
sure
a
you can look
degree.
it up.
Hubba bubba, start training, man.
Yeah. There's nothing more than that I respect than a last second, who win of the week push, because it really does. It really does matter.
I don't think my argument
because you don't
want
to have to look on Instagram on Saturday morning and see that Hubba Bubba's getting blown out, even though it will.
Bubba's got this shit, man. For real.
No, that shit's getting smoked. But seriously, awesome. It was awesome. I mean, since you walked in the door, we had a blast.
Yeah, it was cool, dude. We really appreciate it.
Nice meeting you guys, hanging out with
Yeah,
you guys.
of course.
We technically met before, but
I
think we both don't remember.
On the ice.
On the ice.
It's all a blur. But thank you.
In a past life.
Andy, I love you.
Love you too. Let's get out of here. Thanks, folks.
Peace out, guys.